My name is Gautam Shah. People call me G, and I am the Vice President of Products at Vocera Communications. In that role, I manage Vocera's development and commercialization of our communications and collaboration products, as well as our clinical and technology partnerships, as well as our product marketing. Vocera is a clinical communications and collaborations company. Our mission is to return the human touch to healthcare by enabling that triad of people, process, and technology to enable healthcare workers to focus on the things that are most important in the healthcare environment for patients.
Let's start up with the questions.
Fire away.
How the mobile technology of today can contribute towards building a smarter hospital?
So mobile technology is a very interesting thing. Think about how everyone has a smartphone, an iPhone, a tablet, a computer, and they've just entered the workplace without any thought to workflow, to the data that's being put on there, to how they're actually being used. Fundamentally speaking, mobile workers, healthcare workers with mobile devices have the opportunity to spend time with their patients. They have the opportunity to have data come to them instead of going to the data. The end result of this, data in the hands of the provider, when they need it, on the device that makes the most sense to them, ultimately returns those care providers to the single most important thing we all have to do in healthcare, and that is focus on the outcomes of our patients.
Well, you're focusing on appropriate enterprise communication systems. So how can you say that, or how do you define it actually enhancing patient satisfaction?
It's a great question. So patient satisfaction, we believe, comes from two things. Patient satisfaction comes from the caregiver spending time with the patient, because we know the more time the caregiver's with the patient, the better their outcome. The second thing is patient outcomes are truly driven by the caregivers having the information they need to provide their patient's outcome, to get them to their patient's outcome. Let me give you an example. You think of a patient in pain, and they have a nurse call system, and they click the button. On the average, it takes 9 minutes for that caregiver to turn around and get to that patient. That's a hugely dissatisfying moment. A, because you're in pain for 9 minutes, your family sees you in pain for 9 minutes, and nobody's happy. Now, with the Vocera system that ties together the nurse call system with a master directory, with the context of the communication, ultimately the ability to deliver that event directly to the right person so they can take the greatest action with it, they go from 9 minutes to 30 seconds. So the patient satisfaction increases exponentially. One, because they're no longer in pain. Two, because their family sees that they're no longer in pain. And three, because the caregiver can go and provide them the best level of care. We truly believe that patient satisfaction and staff satisfaction are very closely intertwined. We know that healthcare workers feel the best when they can take care of their patients, when they see their patients getting better. When your patient gets better because the system allows you to do it, you have a better patient experience.
Well, how well you define the fusion of technology and communication playing the role in the Asian market these days?
It's a great question too. So, again, technology is a tool. It is a tool by which work gets done. So, to just focus on technology alone, I struggle with that. Because again, healthcare is an industry of people. People use technology to achieve some goal as a tool. So as technology enters the Asian market, which frankly leads everybody in the adoption of mobile and all the other technologies that are there, it's an interesting confluence where we have all this stuff coming in, but no one's really thought through how do we actually use it. So what's necessary, again, is this thought process that says, how do I take those three pieces, the people, the processes, and the technologies, and melt them together such that, again, all this great new technology that's being held in somebody's hands can actually be used for the greatest context. And again, I'll give you an example. You have everyone's carrying a smartphone, but that smartphone might be a siloed bit of communication. It might be something where only doctors can talk to doctors, only nurses can talk to nurses. What if you solved? Nothing. You just put a device in someone's hands. What if instead that smartphone was connected to a platform that enabled everybody to talk to each other and combine the data on top of it? So now you're communicating in context with the right person on their device with the right information they need to achieve their outcome. So as technology grows, this keeps me up at night. Everyone focuses on the technology. I have the greatest new iPhone 10. Doesn't matter. It's you have the integration of the people, processes, and technology together to help everyone make the technology visible so you focus on what's most important. That's the challenge. That's what we have to do.
When you speak about connected communication, you're speaking about all the data to be centralizedly located. How do you take care of security at that point of time?
So actually, I'm not talking about all the data in one place.
Mm-hmm.
The data lives in its system of record. So you have EHR, the clinical system, and all the other systems that live underneath it. You don't have to centralize that data. You have to be able to pick it up on demand. And that's the key point. Picking up the data when it's contextually necessary to be driven into the hands of the user. Now, security is paramount. I can't tell you how many times over the last month, 2 months, 3 months, we keep hearing about people getting hacked, data getting stolen. And security is fundamental. So when you think about how to form a solution, the solution can be a bunch of points. You can't secure a bunch of points because there's no way to tie them all together. A platform solution, one that is cognizant of security to begin with, that is built with security in mind, is the first place to start. And then, frankly, that security has to be tested. I can say all day long, my platform is secure, trust me. It's another thing to say, my platform is secure, trust me, and here are the list of certifications I have there. So security is not a secondary, tertiary consideration. It is built into the overall platform, and you can only have a truly secure communication solution if you have a platform.
How do you see Vocera's contribution towards enhancing the caregiving by the providers in the near future?
So Vocera has a very unique value proposition in that we have a blueprint that says providers can provide better care because they're able to provide better care. So what does that mean? If a provider has the tools, the data, the context, the ability to spend time doing what he or she needs to do with a patient, that's how we provide provider value. It also decreases provider burnout. It makes it easier for them to do their jobs. It decreases the amount of steps they have to take to get information. It puts information in the palm of their hand. So having this platform that, again, delivers the right information to the caregiver when they need it on the device they have it is just fundamental. That's how caregivers say, you know what I'm focusing on today? My patient, not the iPad, not the phone, not the computer, not some of this technology that's going.
You want to add up something on Vocera's contribution in the Asian market, and where do you see when we meet up next in HIMSS?
Sure. So I find the Asian market to be fascinating because you think about Asia in general, and it's as large as the rest of the world, and it's a whole bunch of different people trying to eventually get to the same place. So we had a great keynote session this morning where there was a gentleman from Korea and a gentleman from Singapore, and they were saying the exact same things. They were trying to get to the exact same place as they're in two different countries. So because we have a solution and we have this blueprint of getting to a truly connected, collaborative communication solution, there's an opportunity to say whether you're in Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, any one of these countries, it's the same blueprint because the problem is the same and it's one connected solution, not multiple independent point solutions that have to get stitched together.